Live?
We are live, people. Hey, yeah. Today we have Wayne here, our casting director in New York, in the East Coast, and I am the casting director in the West Coast. If you have not seen us by now, please go to the video that we had before. After
Yeah.
this one, of course, after this one. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining. I know people are still, getting their snacks, getting their questions together. So I thought we have a little chit chat with you, Wayne.
Yeah.
How
So
are you?
I am hungry. So that's why I have empanadas.
Wonderful. Today I haven't eaten lunch, so I have a bowl of pita chips, and also I got it from Costco,
Uh-huh.
the guacamole. So I'll be eating that while we just wait for people to show up. How about that?
As well, right?
Yeah, today we have a lot of questions that we want to be answered on screen. Of all these actors' questions, I think most of them are actors, and they
Uh,
ask these questions.
as like as I was telling you over our messages, you got a lot of questions, and I think people that I know within my circles, they're like, no questions.
They're probably like pros, or they. Okay, honestly, sometimes I just feel like people don't really know how to ask questions.
Either that or they just really cannot think of anything that they just.
Yeah, because I also feel sometimes when I'm in the okay, I actually went to audition today for myself since I'm
Okay.
also an actor.
Yeah.
Uh, um,
In
when
person.
the yeah, yeah,
Wow.
in person, isn't it wild? Yes. When the casting director would ask me, "Do you have any question?"
Hmm.
Some people would like to come up with some kind of question, uh, but I always don't have questions. So I'm like, well, let's just see how it goes. That's how I kind of answer it.
Well, yeah. So again, I guess in the past, I would feel pressure to have some kind of response. Hey, tell me.
Right?
So you feel like, oh, like if I don't ask any question, does that mean I'm stupid or
Yeah, yeah,
am I not professional
yes,
if I don't ask a question? But not necessarily. Because. No questions is better than a silly question, I would say.
yeah.
Uh,
A redundant question
yeah,
or a rhetorical question.
or it's just not necessary. For example, I can give you a good example from the clubhouse. Even though I'm rarely there nowadays. I rarely now
Oh, yeah, it's
for
hard.
a specific reason. I was gonna post a story time on my Instagram about this, and I decided to. No, actually, last time I posted a story time about my experience on Clubhouse, another CD called me out, and I ended up deleting that post. So, yeah,
Whoa. You have to share us that question, that story.
maybe after this broadcast.
Yeah.
Well, basically on Clubhouse, for those of you who didn't know, for actors on Fridays, usually on Friday nights, the casting society had their own room, and you have members who are either CSA members, non-CSA casting professionals, are all in our room answering actors' questions. There's a lot of great CDs in there who have very very insightful, very articulate, and they have very encouraging way of explaining things. Me, on the other hand, I'm a straight shooter, and I'm what do you call this? Evidence based, right? So
Right.
whenever there's an actor asks the questions, I'm gonna pull their resume on the system. I'm gonna review and just see what I need to learn more about them, right? About where they are, just get an
Yeah.
idea where the career level is. Then I can provide some kind of educational or productive feedback. So there's one time there's like one kid, a young guy who come asking the CD questions. Say, "Oh, I am thinking about moving to LA, but do you think there's more opportunities in LA than Chicago? I believe Chicago." And then I already IMDb him, So like, well, one of the CD answer before me because it takes me some time to articulate what to gather my thoughts without hurting his feeling. Uh,
I like how you kind of prep it already.
no,
That
seriously,
yeah,
seriously.
you're going for the failure.
Right. So the city said, that would not be a question to ask here because we all work on different things. We're all from different areas, different states, right? So like it's hard for us to tell. I was looking at his R&D and said, well, you are represented by Stuart Talent, and they are by tri-coastal, right?
Oh,
Tri-coastal talent agency, Atlanta,
yeah.
Chicago, New York, and Los Angeles. Like,
Mhm.
so why don't you ask your agent? That's a question for your agent, right? If you're thinking about moving to LA, why don't you ask your agent, hey, if I'm planning to go to LA for 2 or 3 months, what are my chances of getting auditions, right? So they will, the Chicago office will phone the LA office. Hey, my client so and so is planning to stay there for 3 months for pilot seasons. Can I share him with your roster? Well, are you okay for me to submit to
Yeah.
LA?
Yeah.
Right, because when you have a tri-coastal talent agencies, you have different rosters because you pay for different services, right?
Totally. Yep.
Right, the locally cost them money to subscribe to the breakdown too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they can do that combination and then provide the feedback to the actor. So for me, I'm like, my gut feeling tells me this actor just want to get some quote, not screen time, but to be seen, to be heard by all the CDs. But for me, I'm like, not a good. Well, for me, I got to. Of course, again, could be my assumption. I could be wrong. I could be very judgmental. But for me, that's a waste of time. That's not an educational question to ask.
Wait, you did not just tell him straight up like this is a waste of time question?
I did not say anything because the other CD cut through and provide a much more gentler. Hey, this is not be a question for us.
I hear you.
Because
Yes.
we have CDs in all parts of the U.S. So how can we tell you there's more opportunity when we are doing our own thing?
Yeah.
But an agent, right? Look at the breakdown on a daily basis, and they know what's the standard type. What type of characters are being released on a daily basis, so they can give you that person a better idea.
Yes.
Right? You and I are Asian looking, who could be like middle age or younger, older, whatever. Chances are you may get one audition every 2 weeks if you're lucky, right?
I haven't got an audition until this one, so
Right.
Hey,
right.
are you all seeing me right now? What's going on?
Yeah, but if you're like, for example, like a Caucasian male in the mid-20s who can play in the 30s, then you have two age group that you can blend in. It depends on if you're bigger or not. So that has a lot more opportunities compared to the minorities. That would, a question like that for me, when I heard that, like, either you're really, really not business savvy,
experienced,
business savvy, or you just want to get some voice time, or screen time, right? But when you do that, for me, I'm already have an opinion about you, and not a good one.
You are too quick to judge. I'm kidding.
Thank God that person's in Chicago, right? Imagine that in New York, I'd be literally like, well, what do you
No, honestly, I couldn't agree you more. Like because I am in LA, I get a lot of those questions because pretty much everyone wants to move to LA to get a job. But that question happens a lot with me when people are trying to ask me. I don't know. Some people feel like I'm more intimidated or something. So I am very open to questions. So maybe that's why there are more questions today that we'll be answering today. But other than that, first of all, I have to tell you all, my headphone is wireless, so it's almost going out of battery. So in the middle of nowhere, Wayne will take over for a little bit while I'm changing or swapping my earphone if there's no power. That's just a heads up. But besides that, I am also eating as well as Wayne because we both got too busy and it's his dinner time and I haven't had lunch. So we are going to do a little bit of mukbang as well. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments. But I have 20 questions I will be answering. I think they are pretty good questions. Like not the best, but a lot of questions are pretty good because it circle around callbacks and auditions and what actors should do at the callbacks or auditions or even when you get cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just based off of a little bit of what's happening right now, I am currently recently I just finished a social media campaign for an ad.
What
Yeah,
kind,
we have
what kind of social media
uh,
do
I
you
don't
mind
think we
sharing?
can disclose the name,
Okay, okay.
but if you go on my Facebook, you will see what I was casting for.
For the
Yeah,
quote, no, okay.
yeah. And another thing I'm currently casting that I can happily to share is that I'm currently casting for a Vietnamese feature film, and that's looking for a lot of uh, Asian Americans as well as Vietnamese Americans. So I have a callback tomorrow,
Okay.
and we're still searching for people. So definitely check out, add me on Facebook, add me on Instagram. You can find more information from there. So I'm here doing a PSA right now, in case you don't know, while Wayne is eating and chewing his food. But
Sure.
Wayne,
All right, sure. All right.
yeah, Wayne, tell me a little bit about what you have been working on.
Well, earlier this week, I just wrapped principal casting for a pilot.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, it's
Okay, okay.
one Asian character is 85% Black African American cast.
Oh,
Is targeting a specific streaming service
I see.
for the Black community, and then
Mhm.
but within that we have very diverse Black or kind of African descent.
Wonderful.
Right, well, one of course some Caucasians, Latino, Latinx, Asian, and I was able to snag in a couple actors who are of the LGBTQ plus
Oh,
community.
nice.
Yeah,
Where was I? I'm kidding.
you're not black for that role, though, Tom. Sorry.
I
You have to
know.
be black.
I
You
know.
know, so I did a lot. I was very happy um, with the options I provide to the creative team. I may not necessarily agree with the final picks, but hey, it's their
As
show.
we always do.
Right, it's their show, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But again, and I was very happy with so many people who are willing to submit to this project, even though the whole premises is a little. It's an action driven vigilante, that kind of
Okay.
that
I
that kind
see.
of thing.
Yeah. Mm.
Imagine the CW show, but with all black cast. Where they have Black Lightning already. Damn. so so I
I
just
see.
finished wrapping the principal casting, and now I'm pretty much just on standby.
Okay.
On standby to hopefully I do not need to do any replacement casting for the show. Otherwise, that's good. A music video, just that was casting about 2 weeks
Mm.
ago, finished post production, and then earlier today, the director emailed me and said, "Hey, do you want me to tag you on the social media when we launch the music video?" Say yes, please. So yeah, once they finish that, I'll tag on my Instagram, and then hopefully
Yeah.
I
Don't
can.
forget to follow Wayne's Instagram as well. After the show, you're definitely going to see these descriptions. I have been busy with descriptions, so I haven't posted anything.
I
I've
try
been
to do
running
as much.
around all crazy. Yeah, thank you.
Busy
Um,
is good. But I
yeah,
have a PSA. Let me
go
see.
for it. Please do.
If you are a SAG actor, and if you are registered with SAG Foundation, I'll be teaching a free workshop to SAG Foundation on August 10th. It's
No.
Thursday night. So if you go on SAG Foundation website, again, if you've been through the casting process program or casting access program, they only post the calendar 1 month at a time. So in I think August 1st is where they will refresh their calendar. Hopefully, you'll see me there, and then you can sign up.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats.
Oh no, not congrats. It'll be fun.
You're
Um,
teaching.
it has been 2 years since I offer a workshop through SAG Foundation. The previous experiences is New York in person, of course, pre-COVID,
Okay.
and
Oh,
I
that's
thought
amazing.
they hated me though.
Really? Why? Because you think like, oh, this is not good, this is not great.
No. I because you last more than 3 hours. I was so slow, right? No, like usually we get a full class, and then of course I take my time,
Mhm.
and then the moderator, I can see the moderator is like it's like almost 10
Like
o'clock.
drawing circles.
Like it's 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. I was like, oh really? I start at 7. So like,
Oh my God, 3 hours? I mean,
yeah.
it's good enough. Are you reviewing every single actor? Is that why? Okay,
Well,
there
the
you go.
format at the time is I assign sites, right?
Yes.
And then they do a live, and then I provide feedback, and they do it again. Usually that's how it works. If
Yes.
there's anything to change.
Yes.
But since last year I taught a couple online workshop, and I realized I think it's more fun for me. I think more fun for actors if they use their own sites. Like bring your own sites and do your best work, and let's see how we can improve that.
I hear you. Yes.
Right. Versus some
Interesting.
other kind of workshop scenario, right? You have to literally you get assigned sites and then you get adjustments. For that, I feel that's more like more like a showcase.
Yes.
For me, it's like, okay, let's do a real showcase then, right? You can use this sites for any agents or manager meetings too, right?
Mhm.
Just show me your best work, and then let's see
Yeah.
how we can improve that.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
see.
that's how I'm gonna run this. So it should be good. Because
Wow.
I would know nothing about the storyline of the character, right? So literally in that 2 minutes, you had to convince me.
Yes. And also, I think always when actors bring their own work, you have more things to work with compared to you already have, you already have a notion of what the director wants or what the script was called for. There's a breakdown of what you should do when you
Right.
conduct your directions. But then when you don't know anything, that's when you can have fun with it.
Right. Also, too, just the difference between a showcase material, right? I
Mm-hmm.
remember in one of my class in the past, a guy come in and did a scene, and I said, well, I that scene did not do much for me at least, and he said, well, but I got a callback. I said,
So
yeah, you got a callback from the writer director because they know the material, right? So you give them exactly what they're looking for. But as a showcase piece, this scene is boring, right? It doesn't showcase your range, you know. Like again, the writer are looking for specific things they're looking for. So a scene can be as boring as it can, else
yeah.
isn't. It
Yeah,
was
let's see what I do today. And then you list out everything and then that's your thing.
well, right. Well, the thing is that there's a difference between a showcase piece. A
Yes.
showcase piece is showcase your range, what you can do, right?
Yes.
And then you have the audition piece, or you audition
Yes.
specifically
Yes.
for that
For that
character and
role.
for that role.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes. Agree more.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, well, that's amazing.
Hmm.
Your PSA, and make sure you all go sign up. You're part of SAG. What happens if someone's FICOR?
SAG Foundation is a community.
Okay.
It's not SAG owned. So as long
Okay.
as you are a member of SAG, right?
Yeah.
You can
I
sign
think
up
core
for it.
members are also part of SAG. So,
Mhm.
okay.
I
No,
think
no.
so SAG.
That.
Yeah, I don't think the SAG Foundation communicate and check your membership.
Okay.
To register with SAG Foundation, you gotta have of course, a membership, not ID.
Gotcha.
Now,
Okay. All
Hmm.
right. All right. Well, while Wayne is eating a little bit, I am going to, start prepping everyone since it's 20 minutes in. We're about to start our Q&A. If you have any Q&A actors out there who want to know something, we will pick and choose. We will judge you. I'm kidding, but
Question. I have a question.
go for it.
You mentioned SAG Fight Core. Tell us what is it? What does that mean?
Fight Core, isn't that part of it's called financial core, part of SAG, no?
Mhm.
And it means that you are part of SAG, but SAG does not have all these regulations over you if you're doing non-union projects.
Mhm.
So it doesn't. So if you are on set with a non-union crew or a non-union feature film, SAG will not have. If you have issues and you wanted to call SAG to help you, I don't think they're obligated to help you. That's
Mhm.
part of it, no? Okay, yeah,
No.
that's my idea understanding of SAG core, fight core. So,
Right. So
but if you're on also still on union set, if you're on union set, you are still getting all the SAG benefits.
correct. You,
Yes,
you are still being protected by the work, basically the
yes,
workers' union, the
yes.
actors. Yeah.
You still buy. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
That's my acknowledgement of it.
It's there for a reason. Because when times are tough, there's a lot more non-union projects out there, and when people rely on acting as their
Yes,
craft,
yes.
make a living.
Which is hard.
Yeah.
Whoever want to move out to LA, unless you're super attractive or amazing real or resume, please don't come here. The competition is real.
No, no. There are many attractive people. There are many people. Like again, there's.
Oh, recently, okay, I have to share this before I forget. Recently, I just heard a lot of handsome, hot people in their town decided to come to LA and they're still hot, but they don't get cast. You know why? Because if the lead is not that hot, they're not going to cast all these supporting roles or whatever co stars. That'd be too hot. That's what I heard. Unless you have specific characteristic that they're looking for, um, that's recently why I heard from some producers
Mm,
that like few stars they would be involved within the casting process that would not want their co-star to be that hot. Just saying, I'm not I'm not leaking any things, but I'm just saying these things could happen.
well, it depends on the show, though, right? What show?
Yes, yes. It also depends on show. For instance, if you are actually being on this Netflix reality TV show called Too Hot to Handle, and you're not hot enough, you're not gonna be on the show.
So sad, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I'm kind
That's
of disappointed that there's no Asians on that show, but whatever. It is what it is. Today is not about this. Today it's about just the Q&A. But I just wanted to share out there that there's a lot of reason or a lot of uh, process that happens within just casting a particular role, and a lot of people will get involved. So sometimes it's not just like set in stone. Things can change at the very last minute. Yep.
That always happens. And also, you have people who drop out, right?
Yeah, I know, right? Or like the agent all of a sudden say like, "You're doing this show, really?" And then like, "You should not do this show," and then all of a sudden you just have to pull out at the very last minute, and you're about to shoot it tomorrow. Then you're like, "Wah wah."
Well, that's the thing, right? A lot of actors like to self-submit.
Yeah.
When they're getting so close to the final round, they loop in their representation, and then the manager's like, "No," and they're like, "Okay, bye." I'm like, "Then
Oh my
don't
God.
waste our time." Right? I mean,
How do you deal with that? I mean, how do you deal with that if all of a sudden the actor decided to loop in their agents, and then their agents are kind of telling them not to do this.
Mm-hmm. So
Do you reason with the actor, or do you just be like, okay, well, you are replaced. Boom, bye.
I reach out to the agent.
Oh,
Just give you a heads up. Your client audition for me.
oh, okay.
If you don't think this is right, if you feel like the rate is not to your liking, or you feel that this is not going to help his or her or their career, you should have a conversation with your client and let me know.
Nice.
I look at first. I'll do a search, right, to see
Mhm.
when they audition. I'll do a search who their representation, who their reps are, and I know the reps. So if I detect any of the troublemakers, well, not troublemakers, but any of the agents who are, at a certain level and prefer their clients to go for a bigger role, a bigger project, right? When I
Mhm.
see those, I'll give the rep a heads up.
Okay.
Pull the plug before they even
Suspicious
start.
activities.
Well, no, so you know what I said. There's no negotiation for this project. There's no budget. We don't
Yeah.
have any allowance to
Mhm.
push for
Yeah.
someone that you expect us to reach to that level, right? So if you solely thinking about this from a business perspective, then yeah, have a conversation with your client and pull the plug. But if you feel like the client has the freedom to do whatever he, she, they want to do, put that in the writing, and then we get a call back, we'll make an offer. Don't play games, right? I said, okay, if you say so. So I will usually put down like email. Hi,
Yeah.
so and so, as discussed on the phone call, right, about your client, da 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 da. You can indicate, quote, you do not get in the way of your client's interest in pursuing acting opportunities. Therefore, you are okay with the rate, shoot days, locations, and also the overall subject matter of the production.
I
Thank you.
see. I see.
Yeah, that's how you save yourself from drama.
What if the actors really want to do it, and then they just go back to the agent and say, "Hey, I really want to do this, and but I know you have a certain standard of the rate that you want me to do."
Well, it's vice versa, right? If I know the actors well,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of people who submit to my project, like email me or email me, Wayne, I submit to this, right? I know, we cast one person.
Yeah.
I cast a guy 4 years ago, and he's always looking out for my project. I guess because I do weird stuff.
Yeah. Do
Um,
you?
I- I'm an Asian person. I cast an all black pilot. Come on, Tom.
Okay.
I could have passed it to my
Your colleague.
other colleague, but for me, I'm like,
You like a challenge,
the
which is
producer is a
great.
friend of mine. It's
Mm-hmm.
always thank God, I have not done this, and I want to be exposed more in that community too. And
Mm-hmm.
through this audition, I missed so many people, wonderful actors. So okay, for this one opportunity, I get to meet, and I was really, really excited and thrilled when I was reviewing their videos. And wow, they're so clever on on their approach.
Yeah.
So yes, I should have passed on the opportunity, but at the same time, other color they may not pass something like that to me, just for me to have that experience.
I
So
hear you.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I took this one on. But yeah. But no, a lot of actors who self submit will give me a heads up, will ask me. And if I know them, I know where they're coming from.
Yeah.
And that's why I will contact the reps independently.
Gotcha.
So at least for me, the actors do not know, but for me, at least I have a safety net there to say, okay, again, being professional as well, right?
Yeah. Of course.
And vice versa too. Some actors that I never met before, I'm interested and curious, and then they actually submit their first audition. Now, at the time if they got a call back, then that's where I will give the actor a heads up. Hey,
Yes.
do you want to loop in your representations at this time?
Okay.
I think right now, since you're getting a call back, And if you're getting a callback, it's one among the 4 or 5 people, right?
Correct.
For
Yeah.
particular role. So the chances are, there's a chance of booking.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you should have a discussion with your rep, and then let me know if I want to proceed.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah,
It's always interesting knowing another casting director's process when it comes to making decisions
yeah.
like this. You know.
People works differently, but I also don't do negotiations. It's like, oh, like when I see a breakdown and they have this raw star name negotiable. I have no time to negotiate. I know the budget rate, and whatever I release for certain role, I think that's fair based on what the producer can provide.
Yeah.
Without blowing
Yeah.
up.
With the budgets, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so I only do negotiable when I know we have funding to support that. Yes, and then yeah, but
Yeah.
otherwise I'm not gonna be really negotiable rate. That I think that's a silly thing. I
I
think
hear
a
you.
lot of the student filmmakers, right, uh,
Yes.
like to do that too.
Yes.
Negotiable, and it's like don't give the actor the false impression that they can negotiate their rate, and then they audition for it, spend time, work on the stuff, and then if they want to make offers, I will pay you $75 a day. And they say, I want to negotiate more, and they're like, yeah, we can't afford that, right? So that's number one waste of time, disappointment. If the actor has money and or her themselves, sure, do it for $75 if you want to, but in this, that's
I hear you.
Background, right? But it's a background actor, so.
But at the same time, just I think from our end, if we keep it as open and obvious as possible, we have a lot of breakdown that we can fall back to. That a lot of rules that we can, ground rules that we can just tell the people, tell people who want to negotiate that we are not able to because of all this reason. Yep.
And another thing, if there are any student filmmakers or people who are new to filmmaking, before you think about the offer, number one, if you're going to file for SAG, right, make sure you download the rate sheet. It'll tell you the minimum pay. If you're not planning to file for SAG and stay non-union, make sure you check your minimum wage at your state. Okay?
Yes.
Don't expect someone to work $75 a day for 10-hour shoot day. That's illegal, right? Because you're below minimum wage.
Yeah.
Right. So make sure you check on that.
Yes.
And that's also how one of my process with consulting. I still consult a couple projects on the side.
I have a question before that. Sure. What if we are running into issues where a lot of universities over here are saying they're part of SAG, we're not going to pay them?
Yeah. So this apologize for the school people at this point. In LA, I think they abuse the system. In New York,
Really?
Schools, yeah. Because like AFI, USC, UCLA, and Berkeley, their film program has a agreement with the LA SAG, right?
Yes.
Everything is deferred payment.
Yes.
SAG student film, deferred payment. How are you going to get good actors for that? Unless people are really desperate for real. So if I have the budget, I want to file for SAG. Yes, make sure I'm follow the protocol. I get to put a little SAG icon right on my credit roll.
Yeah,
maybe I'm professional looking.
Yeah.
I will tell the actors that $207 per day, defer based on SAG short film agreement, but I'll provide you $100 stipend per day.
Good.
When you call stipend, it's out of pocket.
Yes.
So that way, you're still paying them less than the minimum, but there's money involved.
At least there's money involved. Of course, because all actors all the producers or all the directors who are studying in this film places that you said, like AFI, USC, some others out there, they are reading it as if everyone else in the position will get paid except actors, except SAG actors will get paid, which is kind of on my end, it's just unfair. And I have no idea why the SAG agreement says really, but they say it's just a waiver to not you don't have to pay for SAG members audition for you or do these projects.
Deferred payment, right? Well, deferred payment technically that if the film gets picked up by a distributor,
Yeah.
you're making a profit. If you post your film on the YouTube channel and it hits 10,000 views,
Yeah, I
you
know,
start
right?
getting commissions. Even actors find out the actor can call SAG and get your money, get your
Oh.
35 cents.
Wow.
Right, because that's the distribution, online distribution and streaming service, right? So
Mhm.
that kind of changes everything. So deferred payment usually that if you make money. Before streaming platform becomes so popular, short film will never get a distributor. It's not going to happen. So we pretty much actors are prepared to work for free. In exchange for maybe a good real material, hopefully some film festivals that you can just go and walk the carpet, right? It's weird if you don't have a film and you just go there with and like no.
Yeah.
Right? It's good to have a film get selected.
A
You
nice
have something to do.
network. Yep.
Right. So that's the opportunity for exposure and also networking.
Yeah.
It's great. I met a lot of my clients, my producer friends
That's
at
amazing.
festivals. Yeah.
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah. Right.
Mhm.
So that's the exchange for deferred payment. But you're right. It is not fair. It is not fair, and then those student filmmakers should also not complain if they cannot find anyone.
Yes.
Right, because again, when you offer any sort of stipend, plus stipend for COVID tests.
Yeah.
Right, it makes things. Actors are more than willing to do that.
Yep. No, it's hard. It's definitely hard.
Yeah.
Be reminded me because I want to share this story with you later on when you go walk with your dog for a 10-minute break. But I'm going to share a story of where I was being mistreated as a casting director doing one of the student film negotiation to get hired as a casting director for his film. I'm sure you have a lot of those stories too, but I'm using that gap to share my story. But before we start sharing the story, let's do some of the Q&A that we have over here. I just want to go down the list. Okay, so you can listen while I'm speaking with a question, and we can answer it together. Okay, the first one is, when I walk into the audition room, I did my scene and then I got the adjustment from the CD. And then the director gave me a completely different adjustment of the character. Was there a reason for that?
When a CD and directors are both in the room, that's a callback scenario.
Yes.
Right?
But not all the time. Some directors, student directors want to be in the audition room, the first one. Yeah, so I think I could guess this person is in an audition room where the director was there.
So there's like a first audition, right? And then all the team players are in a room.
I think so.
Okay, either number one, the scope of the character changed from the breakdown. Right? It could be writer, they cancel a role. Right, and they don't have time to inform the casting, and then they already got the sides, so they will figure how can we tailor a redirection that's leading towards the other character than the one that's already prepared, right? Because if they give the actor the new sides at the session, say, to do this, you'll be a cold read. It's not going to be fair.
Yes,
it will be a bad audition.
Yes,
that's number one. So now number two, I think it could be just testing if the actor can take directions.
Yes, I think I also agree with both of your answers. Yes, that's true. Or they are just not communicated until the beginning of it. Honestly, there are times where the director decides to change something that last night. And then when you come to audition and casting director like me, I had the experience with like looking at the director all crazy. I'm like, wait, what? I wasn't informed with this.
It happens. It
Yeah.
happens.
So that could be one of the reason too.
You know,
That it's not too many though, so thank God.
I had actors who argue with me when I give them a redirection.
Oh my God, you have no. Same here.
Like,
Or even the director, like no, the actors would tell the director of like this is how I think the character should be, and blah blah blah. Like without that, yeah.
yeah, if that's the case, like, go do your own movie then. So, see, I'm really blunt, right? I'm holding.
No, but it's true.
I think the reason
No.
why I'm giving a redirection is just to see if we can take a direction. You know, we spent 40 minutes. You try to justify your action. I'm like, this for a character 3 lines. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking way too deep.
Yeah. And also understanding that all the characters are built up by you, but it doesn't necessarily what director's vision. So you can't just bring everything like showing us that you have done your work, but you're not willing to adjust. And it becomes really hard if we cast you on set. We're probably spending another 3 hours to try to tell you whatever you're thinking as a character needs to wiped out from your brain and do this. And it will be hard.
I think a lot, some acts, and I'm gonna say a lot of acts, some actors would like to collaborate, right? I want to work with a team, or value my opinion, my approach, and my creativity. So sometimes they will want that. Sticking, they act the character the way they want to do it, right? And then seeking their acceptance. But at the same time, the actor refuses to take redirections to stand on the ground. So the actor turned out to be a non-team player in that case.
Yes.
So yeah, that usually will backfire. Again, just be open-minded. Audition is fun. You know, you should be ready to play a character, adjust any homework that you did on the character. You know.
You know, one thing about that, when people ask, when I run my callbacks, and an actor will come in to do their scene. After the scene, I would ask this. Okay, you might thought I might just nonchalant about this and ask you like, how do you feel? What do you think about the character is like as a way that so I can register myself of where you are coming from when you were doing that scene. Because if I want to make my adjustment, I need to assess where your thinking process is in order for me to redirect you. And that's how usually I am. There was one time my actor asked me, I said, how are you feeling? I'm like, and then she said, I don't know. How am I supposed to feel? I'm like, terrified?
Oh, miss, Tom Chu, I'm so scared.
Yeah. Why are you here? It was like, and then I was asking her like her thinking process, and then she's like, did I do something wrong? And then I'm like, no, you didn't do anything wrong, but I want to know your thinking process. I have to over explain it. And then, but it just, with that said, it makes kind of a red flag for me that
well, I think you can probably ask in a different way.
Yeah.
Right? And I learned this from a directing class.
Yeah.
Instead of how you feeling, you know, based on their first reading, you get a sense of, you know, their approach to the character, right?
Yes.
If it's a love scene or the character is communicating with a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can say, so do you feel like you're speaking to a boyfriend? You know, based on your first reading, you know, I felt like they've only been dating for 2 months, but you know, based on the script, they're married, right? So I feel there's a little bit of distance between your approach.
You know,
is that your intention, right? Is that
that was my intention actually. So So I intentionally try um, to throw the questions out there to kind of fishing something out of them.
Yeah, but you asking more. I would say targeting more character specific versus the actor. How you feeling about that? Because at that time they say, "Oh, you want to talk about me or what I did," because they are there to do the character. So I would say, next time when you try to just get an idea, the
I will
actor
probably ask, be more
more
specific.
character specific, and
Yeah,
they'll give you the whole backstory. I said, no, I don't need to hear everything.
I wish I need. I wish they give me all the backstories though.
Well, usually they're like, oh, I feel like they've been dating for 2 months. It's okay. Well, now I just told them I'm married, right? Let's do it one more time. But I want to see a lot more, like, intimate closeness. You actually been very thoughtful of each other.
Yes.
Versus like, oh, you guys met for 2 months, Then there was still like a semi honeymoon and semi like,
I hear you.
This guy, I want to see the difference.
Good
and
to
usually
know.
They will take that information and run with it. Again, they are there for auditions, so for me, chances are after a first read, I will not ask about the actor about his or her there. Now, if I know an actor, I'll say, hey, how you doing? Long time no see. That's before the audition. How you doing
of
today?
course. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. And then when you get to acting, I'm just gonna all about the scene and the character. Because at the end of the day, I just need to see what you can do with it. Right.
Yeah, of course. That's true. All right. How's your food, by the way?
I'm almost done, but I have
You got more?
Avocado salad waiting for me. So.
Oh my god. Avocado salad?
It's actually one of the tortilla chips. What do you call those?
Oh yeah, I hear you. I finished my guacamole already. So.
Salad.
Okay. All right. We're going back to mukbang mode. But let's answer another question before you go down to walk your dog.
No. I just need to feed my dog.
Oh, feed your dog. Okay, so that's just like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Okay, I see. Okay, so the second question is, I studied my character really well before walking into my audition, and I shared my thoughts process to the casting director. After that, she told me to scratch everything I did and try something completely different. Did I blow my audition? No. I think we kind of answered that already.
Yeah.
Like you just want to take. We just want to see another direction, or if you can take direction, or how to portray the character differently.
Right. Also, too, like when I explain my thought process, I think when in New York, there's no city has the time to listen to the thought process. Usually, if audition with the director directly, right? Yeah, the director may ask more.
Yeah.
Especially for certain filmmakers, they're trying to get the hands of
yes
actors. So that's that. But usually, when you do audition for a casting director or casting professionals, you
not
don't
much, right?
We'll never ask you about the process unless we see something really, really wrong. But we're not going to be asking you to explain. We will tell you, right, the redirections.
Yeah.
Well, I think the character is more of this and this and that. So why don't you try that? And then, we only have 5 to 10 minutes to run the session. I
know. Yeah, totally. Yeah. We're not running like 30 minutes sessions with everybody. So calm down.
For a callback scenario, we have more time.
Not for auditions for sure.
Yeah, right.
Audition is in and out type of thing. Like we actually give people directions, a heads up. Mm-hmm. When it comes to that, it's like we're going to do this. This is how characters should feel like. Blah blah blah, and do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, usually thought process like for a callback scenario, you usually get a script too.
Yeah.
Right? And of course you will have questions because now you see the whole story.
So. Yes.
All right, doggy time. He just stopped by.
Oh, stopped by already?
Share your story about how you were mistreated. Okay?
Yes, I was mistreated as a casting director while Wayne is going on a dog feeding trip. I'm here to share a story of how I was being mistreated as a casting director when I was trying to lock down a project with this director from school. But before that, hi Judy, thank you for coming in. If you are all here, please comment. That's how a way for me to see who's there. But okay, so the story goes, I was um, someone approached me, a producer approached me that a director was looking for a casting director for his thesis project. When it comes to thesis, that means the director is about to graduate, they want something to show or something to submit to the festivals. It's like their graduation spending project that they put some money on top of it. Um, I was asked to cast this project, but the director hasn't even asked me about my rate. He was telling me what kind of big actors I would be able to get for these projects. That's the first red flag for me. I was like, why do you need big actors? Like, how was your stories? And I haven't even seen the script. Like, you can approach a casting director and ask them what kind of big talents you can bring to the table. Like, what does that even mean? Like, does that mean like I get a raise bump or what? I don't know. But that was my first red flag that I felt like the director did not really understand what casting director was about. Then later on, um, we were chatting about different characters, um, he just said, and then he asked me what my rate was, and then I told him like I really need to see the script first before I can really quote anything because I don't know if I wanted to do it or not. First of all, like this is exchange service, right? If I don't think you're a good fit or I'm a good fit for this project, I will probably not going to pick it up. It's not like you approach your casting director and you would just be like, boom, we're doing this. You know, it's a communication, and also you need to share with each other about how you feel. And I didn't feel well with this director from the get go. Then then all of a sudden he just and then the producer was chatting with me a little bit, and I thought the producer was really sweet, really nice, and she's really open to all these directors' visions and everything. Then I said, okay, well, I need some time to really think about it. And that's when the director was all of a sudden like snapped or something, of like giving me this attitude saying, um, what do casting directors really do? Because it seems like you guys are not really doing things, but also always trying to quote this or do that and make yourself so powerful that nothing could be made. Like all of a sudden, he just said that. I'm like, and then for me, I'm just so curious of people's process like that. So I asked, what makes you think that? Like, what makes you think you have such bad reputation towards casting director? And then he told me that he hired a casting director before who was on 5 different projects at the same time with his project, and he was feeling depreciated. And the casting director only posts on social media search and not even social media search. He said LA casting network, which is just one network. Like usually casting director use different networks, different online social media, backstage, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. We use all to try to reach out to people as possible. But he said, oh, she just posted on LA casting. That's it. And that's why he felt he wasn't getting treated that well by this casting director. And then I just straight up telling him, well, I'm not that person, so don't aim every anger, like don't aim don't aim all the angers at me. Don't get angry with me. I didn't do anything wrong. But I just straight up telling him like maybe it's best for you to find someone else who can do all the work that you're looking for and be very specific about what you want in a nice way, of course. But I just felt like I was being mistreated because someone else was doing a bad job as a casting director. And I I just felt I don't. I another thing about this director is I just felt like, oh, we did not have good chemistry, so I am not going to deal with you at all. And there you go. Here's something that I want to share with people that sometimes it's not only actors being mistreated, casting directors sometimes also can be mistreated on this food chain of the standard and industry. But I'm sure Wayne can elaborate more because he has more experience when it comes to casting, when it comes to communicate with directors. I feel like I'm still kind of young when it comes to casting industry. It's only been 5-6 years of doing casting, so Wayne can share you more probably being mistreated, but he's tough. So I think he can also share some. I really want to know if Wayne had times to kind of scream at the directors. I don't know. He's not here right now, so that's why I'm just saying all these things. I'm sure he's listening and he'll come back with a funny joke later on. But besides that, Judy, yes, trust your instincts. Yes, Judy is a lawyer. If you have never seen Asian American Legal Focus on her YouTube channel, she does a lot of live streams and check out with a lot of other lawyers to collab with, and then share different stories and different tips, and also different legal issues, and also tips about if you wanted to go to law school. I hate it when people immediately ask how much it's going to cost. Isn't it? I think in the law, how do you say it? In the law, yeah, in the legal perspective, there's a lot of people are always going to ask about how much it's going to cost first. Yes, you're right. Oh, the Wayne's back.
Yeah, I had to refresh the. Because I'm on the phone.
Legal profession. There you go.
Yes, I heard how you're paying tears and sweats, right? Yeah, I have similar experience too. Recently,
you have similar. You have similar stories recently. Something that I want to know about. Something. Can you just like put a random name, was whatever, giving us an example of what happened?
No, I would say, yeah. Again, I was planning to do like another Instagram story time because I use my Instagram to rant a lot.
Oh, really?
But it's not necessarily ranting. But I have to say, just like actors, right? You have to trust your instinct when you communicate with someone, even when you auditioning, right? For me,
Yes.
auditioning is two-way street. Actors bring what they have to offer.
Yes.
At the same time, you have to make sure people who are in the room are also professional.
Correct.
Treat you professionally, right? And
Mhm.
also respectful.
Mhm.
Can you hear my dog?
Wow, so cute.
Is you see him? No.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, Judy just said more people should watch your video with Wayne.
Oh, please.
Thank
No.
you.
Yeah. So a recent experience is amazing script, a really good concept, and a great opportunity to cast a variety of types of people, right? Color, size, you name it. Yes. What do you want?
Yeah. What do you want?
He wants
Please.
music. My dog
really?
only eats when I play some sort of music. But
What kind of music?
a video game.
Like which one? League of Legends?
No. It's called The Alchemist Code. It's a
Okay.
new game. I'm surprised I still have the app. When he was younger, whenever I was feeding him while he's eating, I'll play the game
Oh
while he's
wow.
eating, and now that becomes his cue. So now he'll be waiting for me to play that music to eat.
Or else he will not eat.
You know what? If he begs enough, he'll get really hungry, and then he'll eat anyway. That's why I'm not stressed out about it. But yeah.
That's
So
cute.
so back to that project is that okay? It has a great concept, great story. At the time, I asked the filmmakers, well, do you have any local New York producer? Right? If you're gonna shoot in New York, you gotta have a producer locally who can help you line your crew. And that's you have an executive producer to help you to crew up, right? You need to find your sound person, location skills, all that stuff, and you should. I'm hired by line producers, okay? So I least rarely have a director right come to me direct and say, "Oh, I want you to cast for me." So I was like, well, usually I don't usually just do that. Again, majority of my projects are through referral producers that I work with, so I have faith. I trust their process. I feel that they're professional, so I will not suffer. Everybody involved will not suffer.
I hear you.
Yeah, that. Yes, go
He agrees too.
eat on your own, please.
He agrees too. Can you hum the tune a little bit?
Let me find this on YouTube.
Oh, it's okay, because I don't want to get taken down by the copyright.
Yeah,
But all good. It's all good.
Sorry. Oh my God, he's part of the conversation now. Yes. All right. So okay.
This is our casting director's life, by the way.
And then you have a casting dog here begging for.
Yeah.
So,
That's cute.
so because I saw that as a good opportunity to provide work opportunity for a lot of the BIPOC AAPI community.
Yes.
So I agree. So okay, so we can start this process, but you need to secure a New York local producer. You need that person. I know it, right? You also need your AD, right? Assistant director. You need a line producer who's the payroll, like to control your budget, right? Because during our conversations outside of the script, the idea, the concept, this person stressed a lot on we don't have a lot of budget, right? I'm a low production. Like I'm okay. I cast all sort of skills. It really depends on the creation, like the art itself.
Yes.
And he stressed a lot on that. So okay, I said, well, okay, that's fine then. I got it. I understand, but you need to secure your crew people. I gave him a rate. He asked for a discount. When I heard that discount, I gave him more discount. That's how much I want to give, provide people work.
Mm-hmm.
It's again, we just come out of getting back into COVID again. But at that time, everything seems good. Production are picking up. So, okay, great. I want all the actors to be able to get some work done, right? To get some jobs, do something. So I started the whole casting process. I literally cast. We have not made the booking offer yet, but I got everybody's video for every single role.
Wow.
Yeah, and there are a lot of characters, and I did all that because he has a specific deadline to meet, like right, and also he filed for SAG, so you have your shoot date.
Wow.
Then you have to, right. So okay, so if he's so worried about not being able to find the actors, then I'll help you, right? And I'll do whatever I can, because we're professionals. Yeah, I got all that. We started some callbacks for certain characters, with the lead or the major supporting characters. Then that's when I noticed something different. Like this director would like to send follow-up emails to actors who he met from the callback without me knowing. So, and he'll provide a lot of the production details that I'm not aware of. And then, of course, actors are my friends, so they will forward to their agent. Their manager will forward to me, and the agent will call me up like, Wayne, what's going on? And when I read the emails,
You flipped.
I flipped first, and then I flipped again, and I do a 360. Then I sat down and wrote a very nice letter, nice, professional letter to the director person.
Yeah.
That I cannot no longer participate, especially it's been month number 2. That person is not able to secure a New York local producer. In the email that he sent, he is telling people that he will not have line producer and AD.
Whoa.
I want to keep the budget low.
What?
You can't have that. How can you do a feature film without an AD?
I know.
This person call them extra crews. They are essential, right? Line producer. How can you not have payroll? It does not make sense.
You cannot have a line producer. If there's no line producer, how are you going to deal with your budget?
Right. And if you don't have an AD, who's going to do your shoot schedule? Who's going to plan?
I know. Are you shooting 16 hours, 18 hours a day, or what?
According to his email, he's expecting the actor to agree to go above and beyond, right? So yeah.
Wow.
For me, doesn't matter how the script is, because this film will never, well, at least, hopefully it'll finish with some other productions, but at the time when I was looking at the situation and the amount of time we have,
no, it's not.
You will not get done.
Yep.
You will never get finished with what they were expecting, right? And what it's asking from the performer to agree is not fair to me.
No.
Absolutely not fair to me. That's why I had to bow out. Yeah.
It's okay. You give a very, very low discount rate.
I expect everything, right? Again, if you're not able to secure your own crew, of course I speak to another producer that I suggest, and then the producer has an idea, and that producer share their instinct with me. And I say, your instinct is absolutely correct. And this is the first time I've never worked on a production where a producer is not involved. Like, never. And so this guy literally just, again, you have a dream, you have passion. I applaud you for that, but you need to have a plan.
You need to have some kind of structure.
Yeah.
Oh.
So.
I kind of knew. I know what kind of project you're talking about. Yeah.
And of course, after I make that announcement, actors started to call me.
And what happened? Are they still taking on the projects? I
told them that I'm not involved, but I share exactly what I just shared with you all here. How I proceed. Yeah. He agrees, right? I know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. He's renting too.
Yeah, I was being very honest. I told them and said I'll leave up to you. To you make a decision on what's best for you.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. Yeah. I honestly, that's exactly what happened with me on one of the incidents with the director at school. This is a student film, so anything goes, right? A lot of times that's what happened. I have students actually came up to me because I told them when they're doing something very specific, they're looking for specific people. And that's when I say there might be an issue with looking for these specific people. I just want to do a red flag with you guys to let you know, I talked to the producer and the director that I might not be able to find all these characters, that we need help. We need some kind of help, and you need to help me. Because with students, I feel like, if I'm open to you, like this is what happened, this is what happened. And the producers say we always have to pay the casting director. So they're paying me an X amount. But towards the end, when all the talents are booked, the director all of a sudden said, the director's is his thesis. He said, "Oh, we actually was helping you to do a lot of these work, so I am not going to pay you this amount of money." And then they cut my money in half. And I was like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. And this doesn't happen just once. But you know what? I feel like if you cross me, it's okay. It's just going to be just one-time deal, and I learned. And I know student project is not a lot of money, so I don't have to worry too much about it. So if you cross me like this and you still be stingy, I know in the future that if any project comes through you, I will remember. So I'm not to worry about things like this.
And
But
share the, share the tea, share the names as well. Well,
share the tea, share the names, yes.
well, the thing is with me, I never really had to go through that because I don't charge money for student films.
Good for you.
But they have to file for SAG.
And they have to follow
the New York SAG rule.
Yeah.
Right? Because for me, of course, I'm not going to do 100% casting process to the end. I do what I can. But at least the actors have a way to complain.
Yes.
To have a way to ensure their safety. Right? Or if pressure being to do some intimate scenes or even nudity that was not in the initial discussion, right? I may not be able to, because casting is not going to be on set. I will not be there to block, to do anything. My job is done when they session.
Totally.
So at least there's a way for them to complain, have someone come to interrupt and shut down might as well shut down the production, right? Because I rather have a union involved, a SAG rep.
That's amazing.
I always give the actors the SAG ID when I book them, right? And you can, if you're a SAG actor, you can pull the SAG ID, do a search, you can find a production name. Based on that SAG ID, you can call SAG, and then you'll find who the SAG rep is for the productions and file your complaint.
Yes.
Right? If they force you to stay more than 10 hours, still giving you the 8-hour rate, you can call and file a complaint. Right? If it's deferred payment, right? If it's a deferred payment and you stay on set for 12 hours, they need to have that in writing, right? The $207 for 8 hours, so you should add your own overtime, right? On a sheet and calculate that. Your sign in and sign out sheet, your exhibit G.
Wow,
right? You need to reflect the right time and take a picture. After you sign your signature, take a picture of it, please.
Smart.
Because people can change, manipulate that exhibit. Yeah. I've seen people done that.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, I believe it.
So take a picture after you sign. Take a picture of it, and then there you go. Yeah, keep it for your record.
This is a great tip to actors out there. If you are on different projects, always have a document of yourself.
Yeah. So that's only thing I request. But again, I stopped doing. I mean, even still on my website for student filmmakers, that. But one of my requirements, you had to pay actors too. There's a contract, right? So no deferred payment. If you're on free casting for me, then no deferred payment, but only for student films.
I need to start doing that, but I will probably go hungry. as a casting director in
Again,
LA.
again, when I started this casting career, right? The goal is not to make money. The goal is to educate filmmakers, to be, to kind of brainwash them to be more inclusive with the casting.
That's
And
amazing.
as an interview casting like a ethnic part, you had to cast it right. That's the intention at the very beginning, and who knew it becomes a career for me.
That's amazing. Yeah.
So again, if you want, there's no such thing as free lunch, right? So if you want freebies from it, you gotta do your part.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So I never really had to deal with student filmmakers when it comes to like less rate.
Yeah.
Again, if I only work with producers I know, then I know I'll get my money.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
Because they'll probably don't give me what they promised, right?
Yep. I know. Same here. Well, we should keep going down the list.
Right.
Okay, so the next question is, so we're doing a Q&A with Wayne Chang, the casting director in East Coast, and I am from the West Coast, but I think he's more knowledgeable when it comes to casting, and he has more knowledge when it comes to working as a casting director because I'm younger. I'm kidding. I think that's why he turned off his yep. Is that a connection issue?
I think, am I back yet?
Yes, you're back.
Okay. No. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, you're younger. It's okay. It's I age fine. I'm okay with me aging. I think
what are you talking about?
We have a different process when it comes to casting. That's all.
Yes, we have very different.
Yeah, my way. My way may not be what other people do. So my way is different than you, Tom. And some people can tolerate me, some people can't. And
I think I really enjoy like listening to your stories too, because different casting directors really have different process. Because we all go to the casting, we all go to auditions, right? Like today, I actually went to an audition. 5 minutes, I'm in and out and done. And like, the reason why I'm saying this is because the next question that I will ask you or answer is this. What can you do when the casting director looks agitated or even pissed off when I walk into the room? I think in a mindset might be when he walked into a room, the casting director was already agitated. Okay, I want to share an experience because there's this one time the commercial. It was the last 2 hours. So I walked in, they have already done like 6 hours of workday. And the casting director really walk out before they do the speech of like what we should do. He just straight up saying like, people, if you don't want to waste my time, do what I say, and this is what you should do, or else, don't even bother to show up to my audition next time. He came out like this, and then to scream at all these actors who just sit there waiting to be called. And I was like, what did we just do? Whoever did something wrong or have already gone, and why are you so mad at the people who hasn't even done this? This happened. But like, we can answer this question first. What can you do when the casting director looks agitated or even pissed off when you walk into the room?
Well, number one, the actors have to know it's not his or her or their fault, right?
Yes.
The casting director may have a headache.
Yep.
May have a really bad day. May have an argument with the creative team.
Mm-hmm.
May have issues with the personal life.
Mm-hmm.
And focus on what you're there to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then get out of there.
Yeah, come in and get out. Yep. That's how I would suggest you too. Like, one of the reasons why casting director might look agitated, it could just be something completely different than what the actual audition is about, or and even if they're pissed off like this, it's not your problem really, because by the end of the day, when he start calling action and recording whatever it is on the film, you will be the one who's you know acting in front of the camera. So he can say whatever he wants, but by the end of the day, he still submits what you have presented to the client to see. So don't F up your audition because of your casting director looks agitated.
Yeah, I think a few years ago, I kind of did like a remote kind of like a Q&A with a group of actors in Taiwan, and one of the actors asked the same question. Like,
Oh, really?
yeah, she said that I went to the audition, and then literally, the casting person just had the shit face, and it doesn't seem to be enjoying. Seems to be very bothered, right? And then at the end, she was like, "Well, what did I do wrong?" And I said, "No, you did nothing wrong. You did what you could.
Yeah.
The person's probably had a bad day.
Yeah.
Don't think too much.
Yeah, don't think too much.
At the end of the day, in that camera, you have to please that little black camera or silver camera.
Yeah.
Not the person behind it.
No.
All about what's on the film.
No, totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Well, yeah. I hope that answered the questions and our perspective. Well, let's go down the list. We have 20 questions. We're only on the fourth one. I don't know if we can finish. We'll just probably
talk fast.
Yeah. Is the casting director always there in the room? Somehow I felt like it's the assistant that's running the session. It could be the assistant running the session. I have a lot of that. I experience a lot of casting assistant actually running the session instead of the casting directors. A lot of times casting directors, not like us, I feel like Wayne and I are mostly hands-on, so we are all hands on deck when we want to. But a lot of when it comes to commercial, thanks while I'm chatting, while I'm talking. A lot of times when it comes to commercial casting, there's a lot of times when assistant is the one who's running the camera and also giving you directions. So don't feel your guess might be the same as ours. They are casting assistants, not the casting directors. A lot of times also the casting director might tell you that they're the casting director, but regardless or not, you're there to do the work. You don't have to care about what the casting assistant or casting directors, either they're there or not. So
right, I agree.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, remember, it's all about that camera, right?
Yeah,
it's the camera.
It's all about your footage. Yeah.
People who's next to the camera is only there to press the button. So, and also casting assistants in the future, there will be casting directors, right? So it doesn't really matter who is really running the sessions or not. I think for New York, most of the time, for like the day player roles, is the associate and the assistant running the show. And then if there's like a guest star or something bigger, you might see a casting director running the camera. I'm a small office. Right now, just me. So I do everything.
Yeah. I used to do that too. When I had my office, I do everything. I'm the front, I'm the back, I'm the person who giving directions. We do all that. But I also have experience as a casting assistant for other casting directors. So, don't piss us off, even though if we're casting assistants on one set of the project, that doesn't mean we're not casting directors for our own projects.
Just to give you guys a heads up too. Sometimes the people sitting outside signing people in could be the casting director taking a break, right?
It's so funny. Yes.
Hey, intern, why do you do the casting assistants? What do you want to show to learn the process? Let me go take a breather outside, send people in, chat with people.
I did that.
Yeah. And I did that too.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, the stories I hear from the
It's so funny because it gives you a different sense of how people think about everything when it comes to this casting session, right? You know, when you're an actor, when you walk into an audition room, you're waiting in the hall in the hallway with everyone else. You're chatting different things. But when you are a casting director and all these actors are sitting there and then chatting about their scenes, even though you sit there and then be like, no, that's not exactly what you're saying, or okay, well, I think these actors get it. You know, there's different perspective, different stories that people are bringing to the character.
Just remember, always be nice.
Yeah,
Be kind.
always be nice.
Be
In this
kind.
industry, always be nice. Seriously.
Yeah.
Next question. So I made it to the callback. Congratulations. And I was asked to do the same thing again in the callback. I did not get any adjustment or anything before leaving my callback. Why is that?
We don't need adjustments. You did exactly
yeah.
right. Sometimes it's just the creative team want to meet you in person.
I think so. I had done that a lot actually with commercials, especially.
Yeah, because nowadays people has filter right on the
Yeah, I know, right?
They want to get a better idea of how you look, how you move.
I love your filter on your Instagram, by the way.
All right, I did that on purpose. I've been playing around with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I have a nice cool disco ball one. I want to try that next.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of just want to meet you in person, and that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right, and you're supposed to do exactly what you did.
Yeah.
That's what got you to call back, right? Well, that's why wear the same thing, guys. Wear the same stuff. You know they will remember why.
It will, they will trigger the memories or who you are as a person. If you come in completely different, unless you were pretty messed up in the beginning, but you wouldn't get a callback. So
on a callback, they're not going to remember everybody's name, right? They don't need to until you're cast.
Yeah.
Right.
So they'll be like that red shirt, or that
the one with the black.
Yeah, with the
So any visual cue that will remind them what you did and why you got a callback is essential,
it's
right?
Very important. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I also want to add, just because a lot of times we're doing auditions ourselves, so when we come to a callback, it's when we have the creative teams come in. The director will show up, the producer, you'll see a lot more people, but that doesn't necessarily that you're going to change your acting or your directions. They just want to see you and see if you fit, if they physically see you. Yeah.
Well, I can share a callback story. This is many years ago.
Okay.
Okay. I'm very grateful for the opportunity because I'm still getting checks for it. But it's for like a co-star, I believe, a co-star role for a pilot.
Okay.
Of course, it got picked up.
Okay.
Pilot, and I went and did my thing. They like it, and I got a call back, right? So I went back and I meet the creative team, or part of the creative team. Some people cannot meet. Did the same thing, great. And then like after 2 days, I got a second call back. But this time they just want to hear me laugh in person. I went, wear the same thing. Thank God it's not. I had to put it on the laundry basket for Breeze it. I was like, oh my God, this thing has been. I wore it twice. Same week, and it was hot. It's so bad. I said, okay, let me just Breeze it. I'll put it in the bag. I'll change in the bathroom before I go. It's just only hear me laugh, and I did that, and then I booked it.
Wow.
Right. Yep. I got no feedback about my laugh. And I didn't ask why, because they just want to hear me laughing.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah, it turned out when we do the actual scene, there's a part where my character is not speaking. It's not even in the script. I can hear the person laugh in the back, and that was just me. Ha 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 ha. So okay, now I know why. It was not on the audition script at all because it's further down.
I hear you.
Yeah. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here's your answer. If you're watching or listening, to casting director is answering all your questions If you have questions, it's so rude. I'm chewing while I'm talking. But hey, I used to do mukbang, so don't judge me. But
Well, now you're not on the keto diets anymore. You should resume.
I know. I
Right?
like mukbang. You mean? I
Yeah.
don't know. I felt like I gained all the weight back from keto already. Do you know that?
Well, that's a good thing.
I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, I mean, if I do mukbang again, I
Mhm.
probably would gain more weight. So if
Well,
I already back to my weight, and then if I do more mukbang, then oops.
but you know those hardcore mukbang people are out there. They don't eat mukbang every day,
I
right?
know.
They lay literally once or twice a week.
They do like intermittent fasting, and then they only eat that one meal a day.
Yeah, that's it. And everything else, they have soup and salad, maybe a lettuce, a celery.
Yeah, I believe it. They're so skinny.
Yeah,
But I feel like if I eat something, I'm gonna gain weight. So maybe, maybe, maybe next time. Okay, we'll figure it out. Leave in the comments just so you know. But let's
yeah.
answer
What do
another
you guys
question.
want Tom to do mukbang
Yeah,
on? What do you want him to eat? Just,
yeah. What do you
yeah.
want us to eat?
No, Tom, I ate enough, so
Yeah, no. Wayne will eat. Watch me eat.
yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, next
So
question.
next question is, what can you do when you messed up the line in the middle of the audition? Ooh.
Well, what will you do, Tom? Keep going.
Oh, for me, I would keep going.
Yeah.
But I had the experience when people messed up their lines and then they just shut down in the middle of it. What I hate the most is when people are like, when they mess up their line, they say, "Oh, sorry," and then they do like again, but right away. Like I cannot even cut or anything, but they just jump out the character and jump back in.
Well, I say keep going and get it out of your system.
Yeah.
If you stop and hold back, pretty much the second time you'll be like, oh wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Wait.
keep
Let's do it
going,
again.
get it out of your system. Great, that's a
Yes.
cut, and then breathe in, breathe out. Let's do it one more time. That's it.
Yes.
It's not that
Yes.
scary. The
Yes.
more you stop yourself, oh my god, so sorry, oh it's so stupid. The more you do that, your lines start to fall apart because you're giving
Yes.
a lot more pressure
Yes.
at that point.
Yes. Yes. If
You
you
know?
mess it up the first time, trust me, just get it out the way because casting director will let you do it again if
We
they
need a
don't.
good take.
Yeah.
I know we need a good take, but we don't need you to
to beat up
stop
yourself
it.
about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because when you become stressed out, you will have less fun, right? That means your audition is it's not gonna be as fun for you, not a good experience for you. It will not be a good experience for us.
Yeah. So if you mess up your lines, keep going. Just get the whole thing out, and I'm sure casting director would let you do it again. Or also, they are going to make adjustment if this is your first audition anyway, right? So do better the second time.
Yeah. Show us the rest of the stuff, and we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. What can you do when your sync partner messed up the lines at the audition? Oh my god. Oh,
Okay.
honestly, I had that couple times. Not I mess it up. My scene partner messed it up. And of course I don't get a call back because I know exactly what happened. She messed it up pretty bad. And but I as an actor, I just run with it. Like it is what it is, right? You're there to do your part, not you. It happens.
It happens, and I guess it's just kind of like the earlier question. Just keep going, right?
Yeah.
And not unless your scene partner stop. Oh my god, so sorry. And then cry for 2 minutes, right?
My scene partner stopped in the middle of it.
Yeah. Okay.
And the craziest part is she only have one line.
Yeah.
And she messed it up.
but the thing is, that's the most stressful one, right? Because remember when you audition for, if you have like two scene like 2 pages sides, you have a lot more things to do. But when
Yeah.
you do like close out one line,
Yeah.
that precious one line is actually more stressful
Yes.
because like that one line can determine
Yeah.
whether you
Yeah.
book it well or not. You don't
Yeah.
have any other lines to help you to showcase your work. So,
Totally.
so
Yes.
maybe that's the stress that she was having.
But yes, I understand completely what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I just run with it. But I knew I wasn't gonna get called back. But at the end of the day, I just moved on. Like, there's no hard feeling about it. It is what it is. It is part of the process, because I do also know, in my audition, in my casting sessions, there are times when I see someone mess it up, but the other person was doing way better, and to kind of pick up the slacks, that person actually get a callback, and in the end, that person actually get booked. So
I've never seen a scenario where the two actors, they both read for each other, and one of the actors say a word wrong, and the other actor stop the person, say, "You said it wrong."
uh-oh.
Yeah, it's called mind your own business. And
Yeah, rude.
it's your audition, so you stick to what you do.
I
That person
know.
messed up his or her their line. That's okay. Just keep going.
Yeah, what do you say to him though? I mean, to the person who actually stop and then tell the other person you messed
I
up
say
your
mind
line?
your own business. I
Oh,
would do
really?
that. So why did you stop? And that's not your lines, though. So you stick to your lines, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had to cut because of what they did. I had to cut the
You
camera.
couldn't use because he
Yeah.
stopped in the middle of
I
it.
didn't even get to do the end, so at least they can get out and say no. They just stopped because you had to be, oh, you say the word wrong. It's this word. Like, who gives a F?
Yeah.
Like, just do your thing. Like, stick to your words.
Yep.
Yeah.
That happened.
But don't be nosy, guys.
Yeah, that happened. I experienced that. Someone did actually tell me, like, I say a certain words wrong. I'm like, don't worry about it. I like the way that I'm saying it. It flows with me. So don't worry about it. Mind your own business. Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens. It happens. So maybe that's how, if that happens, just move on. And we're moving on to the next question.
If someone stop and tell me when you say this word wrong, I will look up, death glare, and I'll keep going.
I usually say, "Oh, thank you," and then I'm still going to say exactly what I said, just to piss him off.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Next question. Yeah.
I got this note. Stop acting inside of your head. What does that even mean? Stop acting inside of your head.
It's called rehearsal, right? You rehearse too much. So
Yes.
when people are actually doing the acting or auditioning, you're thinking about what you did yesterday.
Yes.
That's called acting in your head. You forecast too much, you calculate too much, you rehearse too much. So when it comes to the audition time, the session itself, you become less organic.
Yes. Yes.
And
It feels like you're acting.
First, it's too calculated to the
Yeah.
point that we don't believe you anymore.
Yeah, we don't
So
believe
that's
it.
why when you stop acting inside your head, you project what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick up a pencil, and you go pick up a pencil. Like literally, we can see lines in your head, in your eyes. And
Yep.
Yep.
My goal is to pick up this in my hand.
yeah, we see what you're thinking already before you do the action, right?
Yeah.
So you forecast so much. You should again, acting is living, right? The character is living in that scene, in that moment, so you should be organic.
Yeah. One of the trick might help you as well is to really focus on someone else or focusing on some other things that you wanted to do instead of what you want to do for the scene. If something happened within the scene or within the scenario, you focus on that thing. For instance, if there's someone who's doing a scene with you, then react to whatever that's throwing at you instead of thinking and analyzing and try to make that thing happen.
Well, I think many people have their own approach, right? When it comes to prepare for an audition or for a scene.
Yeah.
I mean, do whatever that you can do, you like to do. Just that you remember the day before or the morning before the audition, don't think about it. Go have a frozen yogurt.
Yeah.
Do something to distract you. Go play some video games, right? You can eat a keto box.
Yep. My keto box.
Yeah. And then if you really had to go through a line, just, while you're driving to your audition or on the subway, just look at the lines. Yep. Don't act. Don't do rehearse. Just you already did it. You already did it the day before.
Yep.
So and just let it go.
Yep.
Yep.
Let's do the next one. Does look really matter at the audition? Should I dress for the role when I go to the audition? I think we mentioned that. You even want to dress the same for your callback. Yes, look do matter.
Well, there are two things, right? Or I think in the last video, we talked about the costume, right? The profession. So let's not talk about that because you can click this link.
Yeah. I'll put the link down there for the previous video that we have done. So watch it.
But now we're talking about what outfit, the audition outfit. Some actors, when they're doing their headshots from photographers, they'll bring some options. Right, and the photographer says, "Oh, this color looks good on you." They'll pop. Right, so if you're auditioning for a role that's not specific, like towards a profession, it's not like an FBI agent or a lawyer, but like very generic, casual. That's when you have to pick a good audition outfit, the color that makes you pop.
Yep.
Right, so when you look at the screen, we have like 20 videos or thumbnails, right? Yep. What will make me click you first?
Right.
So that will become your audition color, your audition outfit. And whatever that make us click you the first time, you got to call back, and that's what will make us remember you the second time at the callback.
Totally. Yep. Right. So remember that.
Yeah. So, the best way to do this, again, when you do a headshot, say, hey, can I bring multiple outfits? Right? And just want to see what pop. You can even take your own selfie at home. Right? Use a very generic background. Gray, blue, gray, or off-white, whatever the background you kind of see in a lot of audition studios. All right, and then just go play dress up. And another way is to go through all the fashion magazines or Google an actor that you feel like it kind of like you, looks like you, and look at what color looks good on that celebrity. And then and then find colors of similar colors at home. Even go to the department store or the dress room and play dress. You don't have to buy; you just play dress up.
Just
and then
take pictures inside of your dressing room.
And then again, just share with your friends. Don't post on the Facebook that people vote.
Yeah,
of course you can do that, but hey, friends that you trust, friends who are brutally honest about their opinions. Hey, which color looks good on me? Literally, just that. Yeah, and then you go get that audition outfit.
Yeah, I hear you. I totally agree. Yeah. Because I did not do that, but I know because I know enough. I see myself enough on YouTube.
I have an audition color, so
yeah, me too. Me too. So I love pink though. Just saying. But that doesn't mean I always wear pink to audition.
Make sure the background wall is not white, otherwise it'll become floating hair or it become too much, right?
Yep.
So that's something you have to
something brighter. See, like what I'm wearing right now, it makes my face pop. It makes my teeth white because it's darker shirt. But if I'm wearing something bright color, it'll make my because we're looking at camera lenses, right? The camera will immediately make my face dark, which is so weird. But you know enough to actually adjust yourself with different kind of colors with your body and whatever. So know that. Especially like you said, use your phone to take pictures because it'll help because that's how other people will see you through a camera lens.
Yeah, you gotta get people's opinion because at the end of the day, what you like may not be what other people like.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
yeah, that's why you had to ask a really trustworthy friend.
Yep.
And yeah, I really don't like red on you. Oh, why? Does it become? Is it too much? Is it blends in too much, or does it make
Right.
evil? Whatever.
Right.
And they'll let you know.
Yeah.
And, okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Okay. I live in LA and sometimes traffic is horrible when I drive to the audition. Is it possible I go early? What if I'm late? Should I still go to the audition? You should go to the audition no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. Story time. All right, so guys, I think in New York, not every casting professional have an office. I don't have a physical office. My office is a laptop, right?
Gotcha.
So when I have to run sessions, I book audition studios.
Yep. Same here.
So, has many years ago, again, a long time ago, when Schindler Studio, those of you who are watching who are in New York, you know what Schindler Studio is. Unfortunately, they had to close the business due to COVID. But back in the day, Schindler Studio was affordable and pretty good. I used their place a lot. So I was working on an independent feature film. I only booked the afternoon session from 2 to 9 p.m. Right, because I have other things to do right during the day. So and after I signed the schedule, everybody all confirmed the booking. Awesome, right? I was ready to to do this. And when I get to the audition studio, when the front counter says I'm checking in, here's my credit card, swipe it. He said, yeah, there was a guy who was looking for you. I was like, huh? Yeah, this guy came in at 10 o'clock a.m. He said he's here for an audition. I'm like,
That's too early.
that person made the assumption that I have an office at that studio.
So, I mean,
But that person waited for an hour and he got so angry and he left.
it should.
I'm like, nobody sent me a email. Nobody sent me an email. Nobody sent me a text.
Yeah.
So
Honestly,
at the end of the day, I look at who came that I know who it is.
yeah.
The one person who did not come
Yeah.
because he was pissed
Yeah.
off. I don't
Yeah.
have an office there.
I hear you.
So
Yeah.
come early. Make sure you inform the person, hey, I have a possible conflict. Can I come a little early? If so, at what time?
Yep. Always communicate.
Communicate. If you're running late, communicate.
Yeah.
Of course,
You know-
I don't encourage people to drive and call and
Yeah, or text or whatever.
over
But
to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, right? And call your agent and manager. I'm running late. I'm stuck. Or if you're stuck in traffic, that's fine. I'm stuck in traffic. Help. Based on my GPS and the traffic, Google Maps says, oh, I'm going to be there in an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, let your rep know, and the rep will communicate. If it's
definitely.
casting director, casting professional who contacts you directly, let them know.
Yeah.
If you got an appointment one way, there has to be a way for you to respond and
Yes.
communicate.
Yes. Totally. For commercials I usually cast, since I'm always running a lot of people doing commercials, I always let everyone know that I have a time frame that you can come in, because I can get you in and out really quick. But if people are running late after that or earlier than that, like you said, I book for those casting studio or casting office, I'm not gonna be there, so you might have to wait, or I might disappear before that. Just so you know. So if you're running late, always communicate, but don't ditch the audition.
No.
Oh, the next question is, what happened when you ditch your audition?
Why?
Yeah. Is there a reason?
Tell me why. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have people who email me, text me, say, can I make a family emergency or last minute conflict, no longer available for the shoot dates. Okay. People who say no longer available for shoot dates, I know that we will not consider you.
Yeah.
Family emergency, I'll ask you, okay, if I'm running a second session, can you come?
Yes.
Can you do a self-tape?
Yeah.
Now, people who didn't say anything, I move on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, what
we well,
happens for me, I don't really care.
yeah, same here.
Just that next time, if I see the same name again, I'm
We
gonna give
are,
appointment priority to other people
of
because
course.
I know you're not gonna let me know if you're gonna come or not, right?
Yeah, you're not communicating.
Yeah.
So communication is the key
Mhm.
to be successful in this industry.
No, it's we remember things. We remember
Yes,
faces. That's our job. So
same
remember
here.
that, right? And I hold grudges. So
You hold grudges.
yeah.
I I honestly don't hold grudges, but whatever. But I do know if a person have done something, I remember it, but
Mhm.
I won't beat you up with it.
I remember. So, like I said, I'm not gonna not let you audition. It's just that I'm gonna get the appointment to someone else
Yeah,
that I know who communicates in case. And then if I have a gap, I'll fill you in with into that gap.
yeah.
Yeah.
The next question. I am Asian and I was called in for a black male role. Was that a mistake?
No,
I don't think so either.
I have auditioned for a female role, but
You have? Okay.
yeah, and it turned out they changed the sex of the character last minute.
Oh,
Or
interesting.
they open it up to male, female,
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever, but
yeah.
non.
Whatever that's
Right?
there. Yeah.
So don't think too much. Don't
No.
cast yourself out before you even
Yeah,
audition.
before
Right?
you even audition. That's so
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
The script
Um,
could be a draft. The site could be a draft version of the script, and you probably went through several edits that were not released for casting.
yes, agree. Because
Yeah.
when we post the casting, a lot of the things could still change
Yeah.
before our session starts. So
Hmm.
be aware, sometimes they say this, but that doesn't really mean anything. Go to the audition, find out what's going on, and to really figure out. At the same time, it communicate too.
Hmm.
You can ask whoever that's running a session is like, oh, I was going for this role. Um, is there any specific way that you want me to do this or whatever? Just always ask and communicate.
Well, story time. So you can have I can tell you an example. An actress submitted to a part. This character, I was about college,
Okay.
right? And this Asian actress submit for it. I was like, okay, great. And so if you submit it, I mean, you read the breakdown, right? I have the character, age range, the look, the idea of the character. So when I send an audition invite, self tape, send the sites, the person declined and said, "Oh, I'm too old for this."
Honestly, there's a lot of times that happened to mine too.
I'm like, did you even read at the first place, right? So you waste me clicking, you
Yeah.
waste me time. Like,
A lot of actors just don't read. I mean, read your breakdown, please. I mean, we put a lot of thoughts in there.
also, if you there's a reason you got an audition appointment. I never met that actress, so I want to see what she can do
Yeah, same here. I'm
because
like, oh,
she
curious.
can be considered for other roles.
Yes,
But
same
that
here.
person didn't even give herself a chance to showcase what
Yeah,
she can do.
yeah, yeah. I always feel like, if you get an audition, always go to the audition.
Yeah.
Because because I was also cast in a feature and I auditioned for another role, but they say I'm better for this one. So they cast me in this one. But I have never seen the
Mhm.
sites or seen anything. But, I was capable of doing that. So they offered me that role and I took it. So
Yeah.
you never know.
And also too is we always need a plan B, right, and other options.
Yeah.
So a lot of these characters will become like talent pool,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
When we need to go back and review certain people to audition for other parts,
Yes.
that pool is our resource. I'm not going to do another new casting for that.
Yes.
We
No.
already have
No.
people audition for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll have interest in the show.
I have the example that tomorrow I'm doing the callback for. There's a character that, because there's always like dual, right? So the chemistry might be the same or the personality might be the same. So we only need one side for these two characters.
Mhm.
But when we come to a callback, we might test for chemistry, we might test for whatever then we offer you and then give you another side or another things to prepare, so
Right.
you come in for that role.
Yeah.
But at the audition, we let's make our life easier, okay? We don't want to come up with 20 sides for you.
Don't cast yourself out before you even had a chance to let casting to do that job.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
It's our job, okay?
No, like you submitted, I thought you must have interest in production, so why not go for it?
Yeah.
Play costume, dress younger, whatever you can.
Yes.
Why not?
Yes.
I mean, look at the Gossip Girl show right now, the reboot. Everybody is like in their late 20s.
Yeah.
One of them is like in their early 30s.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So,
And they're still playing high school.
yeah, like literally.
Yeah. So, get used to it.
Yeah.
Don't if the filmmakers believe you, don't stop believing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You have to think about it. Like if something like a high schoolish stuff or college, you have to think about who the other actors we get, because everybody has to look somewhat similar.
Exactly.
So if we got other actors who are more mature looking, then yeah, we will have more mature looking actors.
Mature looking actors to play younger roles. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Or if we're playing a mom but this person looks in their 30s, then we have to find someone who's like 17, 16 to play like the teenager.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like the opposite. If we cast 25-year-old as a person who plays 18-year-old, then we have to cast someone older to play their parents.
So they're also their friends, the crowd.
Yes.
So they all have the similar vibe.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Good. That was a good note. Let's see. One time at my audition, the producer was on the phone the whole time and I felt disrespected. Was it wrong to feel that? What can I do when that happened?
Focus on that camera.
I know.
Right. It's not what happens in the room. Unless it's the theater audition, yes, right. Then you might get distracted. But if it's a TV or film, something that's on camera, who gives a F someone's on the phone or not?
Yeah.
They are there to make sure they pay, right? The people who are working for them, and they'll review the tape afterwards. It's all about the tape.
Yes. I totally agree. I mean,
Block
there
after
was
like don't get distracted by that.
Focus. Yes, I agree. Really focus on you and that camera. You are only doing the scene so people can play back later on. So if you get really distracted by the people around you, it will also show in the camera.
Also,
so you need to be careful of that.
Also, too, there can be many types of producers in a room, right? Mm-hmm. Even though a lot of producers are the decision makers, sometimes they are just there because they're getting paid to be there. But they have to show I worked that day and just sitting there, drinking coffee, playing games, But if the director or the writer is in the room, most likely they'll be focusing on you.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And it's less about the producer, and it's less about do your things. And if you're getting directors opportunity to work with you, you get to test out if you like the director or not as well. Yeah. That's the main is to do the acting.
Yeah. I totally agree, because there are incidents where not only I understand where they're coming from, that I do experience phone calls all of a sudden happens in the middle of your audition, but it's not your problem, but keep going, or on the other hand, I have experienced sometimes casting director and my producer all of a sudden phone ring, but it's not their fault. They actually have to make that call or whatever, but it doesn't affect your performance, because I know I'm going to do it properly again, or I know I might do an adjustment of what you just did. So I am focusing on you, but you should also focusing on the camera, not on someone else.
And that reminds me, one of my casting colleague, Desiree, hi, if you're watching this. she does a lot of commercial print campaigns, right?
Uh-huh.
I remember one time she posed what happened. She was running a session because they're so hungry. They haven't eaten all day. They order salad. So the cast, all the assistants, right,
Uh-huh.
in
Uh-huh.
the session. So while she's running the camera, her assistants are eating. And this actress come in. She told them, "You guys are so rude. I'm here to audition and you're eating in front of me.
Okay.
All right, we're not supposed to eat."
Yeah, why? Why can't we eat? Wait, you're weird. Like what?
Like people behind the camera eating has nothing to do. It's not like eating with you on camera.
Yeah.
They need to eat because they're hungry and they had this long day, right? You are in front of the camera, focus on what's on the camera and do your job.
I think
Like don't get like that's not rude. People have to survive.
you bring out a very strong, great perspective. Maybe okay. So for instance, this casting assistant is eating,
Mhm.
or like for instance, right now you're eating, because for a long day you haven't eaten anything and you're just now eating.
Yeah.
But imagine that casting assistant has been on their feet, try to get you guys in and out within that 5 minutes because they don't want to waste your time. So they decide to just eat while you guys are doing your thing. And then you thought they're being like disrespectful. I feel like you are being very selfish thinking that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to throw it out there because you don't know what their story is behind why they are eating at that point. You could probably find out in a funny, cheesy way or whatever to try and lighten up the room, but you should not be putting people down by that.
If you feel people are eating and distracting you before you audition, oh my God, that smells so good. What is it?
Isn't it?
Right? When you bring this to their attention, they realize, oh my gosh, she knows I'm eating. Or he knows
Yeah.
I'm eating. They will stop.
Yes.
Right? They will stop.
Yes.
And they're like, oh, it's mozzarella salad. You
Yeah.
can say, oh, that looks good. Maybe I'll get it next time. And
Yeah.
then you go right to your audition. And they already stopped because they're paying attention to you.
Yeah.
Understand?
I remember because recently there's a call, like we did our audition and we just had taco for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't really eating, but the room stinks with all this lard and all these authentic food smells. And so someone walked in and was like, "Oh, what was that yummy smell?" And I was like, "Oh, it was for lunch." But like all of a sudden you kind of just try to acknowledge what happened.
You
Which makes
also
you more
loosen up the
professional.
mood,
Yes.
because
yes.
all the casting assistants are like, say, oh my
Yeah.
God.
We're
Maybe
rushing everything.
Hey, it could be a non-pay intern, and that's the only reward for the day. Okay, so let the intern. Let the intern eat, please.
Yes.
So
Please.
again, you definitely loosen things up a little bit. Don't get things distracted. Again, just again be kind. Be respectful.
Yeah, you're not going to be there a whole day, but they are. So give them more time. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What's so hard about this?
Yeah, and sometimes if there's some noise, if you have a mic, you put a mic around your neck.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see a boom mic towards you, whatever noise that they make is not gonna make it as obvious on camera.
Yes.
So it's literally like, don't think too far. You're not a sound person. Don't
Yes.
Okay. Next question.
Yes. No, totally. Yeah, agree. Right. I'm just looking at the next question. What is the best way to answer when the CD is asking if I have any question before the start? What if my question is not answered?
What if my question is not answered?
I think maybe, I don't know. Well, I don't understand what this means, but okay, let me guess. What if my question is not answered? Maybe the casting director did not give a direction.
Okay, unless the question is irrelevant.
Have you experienced irrelevant?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. So So I was a good scenario is, um, there is a short scene for a short film. If I remember correctly, it's about a Japanese husband and wife and their kid. The kid has some mental health situation going on.
Okay.
But the scene is really short. It's about a page and a half between the husband and wife. They didn't even talk about the child at all. Okay, in the scene. So an actor come in. I said, "Great. Do you have any questions? Of regarding the scene?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
have a question regarding the scene?"
Yes.
So the person started talking about it. So what exactly was the issue of the child? I said, "Does that matter? Does that matter in this particular scene? Does that matter?"
Yeah.
He said, "I'm just curious."
Okay.
So I asked, "Do you have any questions regarding the scene or the character, right? The scene."
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I did not answer that question. They said, when you get a call back, you get to read the full script. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Then you will know what happened.
Do you always give out a full script to when it comes to callback?
If I have the permission to.
Oh, okay.
For this pilot, we had to do it. Everybody had to sign an NDA.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So we have a lot of actors for the callback.
Oh my god.
6 characters.
Oh,
Yeah, but
okay.
the associate producer handled the NDA part, but I had to pass.
Perfect.
Then
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
body.
the paperwork and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, your question sometimes is not gonna be answered because it's not
right. The real question
the
that you should
question.
really ask is that when you do a preparation, if that something does not make sense to you, when you do your homework, yes, like questions like, how long have they been married? Right, because that affects on how you speak to your spouse.
To a person, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like, are they getting divorced? If
Yes.
based on the scene, they are so heated, right? I feel like they are getting a divorce. Is that
Yes.
what's going to happen literally on the next page because they're arguing?
Right.
No. Right. That I'll explain to them. No, they're not. Even at the end of the script or the film, they are still together. They work it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
even though they are heated, but they always come out as okay.
Yeah.
We're not gonna argue anymore.
Yeah.
At least how you wrap up your scene, right?
Yeah. I also have that experience.
Yeah.
Like how there's a girl. She was running. She asked this question. She in the scene that the girl was drinking, and then the male lead was asking like, "Oh, you're just wasting all this liquor," but she asked me, "How drunk is she, or how many times has she drank before she said that?" Like she reacted that. So I thought that was a good question because you behave differently depends on how much alcohol you have in your system, which was great. Yeah. So ask questions that actually is relevant and also can help you to create that character in more deeper level.
Well,
but
when you have to make a choice, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, but go for it.
No. But I also have another scenario where the scenes is in the car, but the dialogue is between these two, try to exchange and try to push off each other. So a person is reaching out, the other person is pushing the other person away. So that's what the whole scene is all about. But the script was called for in the car.
Okay.
But I want this person to stand up because I do not want to lower my frame. Because I also know that the scene is really about that engagement with one another. It's not about this car. It's not really about this car. But the person very, like the actor, really want to sit down and to act in the car.
Okay.
And then so when he sat down and then okay, you know what? I always let people do that. So I let this person sit down, act inside of the car. I did not feel like he was acting in the car. He was just sitting in the car. And And then so I say, you know what? I want you to stand up. I just want you to do the scene. I did not care whether you're in the car or not because this is not the scene it's called for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that
Well,
happened.
well, that depends on if the actors rehearse, right? Or
Yeah.
visualize how he's gonna audition. I mean, for me, I have a flexible tripod. So Stan said, "I'll go with what you want, but you better be good."
Yep. Yep.
No, no,
That's
no.
exactly how I
It's
felt.
no, audition is their time. So for me, I will accommodate as much as I can,
Same here.
mechanically wise, right? Now, if you want to do like I want a real car, then I can't help you with
Yeah.
that. But not
The
without.
hardest, yeah, like you said, the hardest part about this is that how real are we talking about when it comes to car scenes, right? You could have just say like, oh, do we really need to be in the car for this scene? Because yeah, like you said, I can adjust my camera, but sometimes I just don't want to. But at the same time, I don't think it's really necessary unless you tell me otherwise. And when I actually make that step to do that, and then I saw something horrible, I would ding ding ding. Oh no 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 no, not even that.
Okay. Um, I think, especially nowadays, right, there's a lot of blue screens, a lot of different technologies. Sometimes for a shoot, you might not necessarily sitting in a car. You might be standing. So I think as an actor, you should be very flexible. Always ask, what's my framing?
Yes.
Right? If you're only being framed
Yeah, if you're just in
neck
close
to the
up,
head, who gives a
yeah,
F? You're sitting on
yeah, I'm
stage.
like,
Just do this, right? You know, um, again, but if an actor be hurt sitting down, I really need an actual chair. That's fine. And for me, I'll do what I can. You know, so
but
yeah,
it better be good.
it's not horrible to ask for, but if you have to, I think actor has to make a good judgment on when you're asking, requesting the casting person to adjust their setup.
Yeah.
Remember, a lot of them are doing real time, right? Real time recording and broadcasting back to the network. So their camera may have a lot of stuff connecting to it. For them to readjust the camera setting might pull the boom down, with the light or
Yeah.
whatever. Well,
Yeah.
that we focus the lens on,
Yeah.
which will take more time
Right.
for a session, right? So as an actor, you have to think about what kind of impression that you want to get.
Yeah. And also understand that the reason why some frame was set up, it's because it might be the best lighting. It might, for instance, if my angle is not setting up this way, I'm gonna have double chin. Okay. So I do not want that. So there's a reason why certain angle that was set up so we can present and make sure the actor looks better.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can sell your image to the producer and the director, and then for them to see everything that they need to see. But if you're trying to direct our angle instead of you adjusting it yourself, then your shot might not look great. I remember. Oh, I was on this set one time.
Okay.
The director had issue with the DP, and then it was a trailer shot. So it was, we were moving, and they were debating on the angle. They were debating on the shot, so they were arguing with the shot. And after they finished both shots, because they say, you know what, we're gonna shoot both and see which one is better. And guess what happened? The DP messed up the director's shots by kind of bumping while filming. While they're rolling, he just kind of tilting the frame a little bit, shake the frame a little bit, so the frame cannot make it to a cut. Shady, but things that happens between people.
Ego.
pretty much.
Yeah,
Hey, but I don't know. See, but at the same time, you know, I don't know too much about Angle. I don't know too much about their process. So I was there to act. I wasn't judging, but I saw the notion and the action of what happened.
I
So
think maybe the director has a different idea because you know they preset the shots on storyboard,
yes,
all that together. They
yes,
should have this discussion before the shoot.
yep,
So unless the director have a last minute right request,
change, yeah,
and then TV refuse the change
yes. I think that could be
because
the reason.
if they run out of time, right? Maybe the AD or there's a timekeeper person saying, you know what, we don't have time to readjust and change the tripod and shoot everything. That could be it. But if he did shot that scene, but the DP quote accidentally end quote bumped the camera, sabotage the shoot, well, what can we do?
No, nothing. I'm just
Sad.
share some insights. Oh well.
Yeah.
Oh, let's move on. Do I say no conflicts with the schedule if there are some conflicts but might not affect on the role that I audition for? I think you should be very open to your schedule. I mean, in terms of conflicts, right?
On the breakdown, it tells you the dates. Depends on
Mhm.
what your conflict is. If you're going to be out of the country, don't submit.
Yeah, yeah.
It has
I
happened.
think yeah.
It has happened. The person kind of call back. That person cannot come to call back because it's not in the U.S.
Yeah.
And when they ask when they're coming back, it's like, oh, not until next month. So why would you even audition for this?
In the beginning, right? Yeah.
So that will be a conflict that you cannot resolve because you're a different country.
Yep.
Right? Now, if you have a potential conflict, a potential means that you have not been locked down with the other conflict yet. So at that time, things are negotiable.
Yep. What
Right.
if it's a long, for instance, beginning of a month and the end of the month, so a whole entire month, but your role might just only call for 3 days within the month? Do
Okay.
you tell them the days you are not available, or do you not tell them at all?
When you book the job,
Yeah.
and they make the offer, say, I need 3 days advance notice if you can. Or
3 days advance notice.
48-hour advance notice.
Okay.
I'll give you time to resolve your other conflict.
Okay. So yeah, so in a way that you should say, oh, we can work around it, but you need to give me notice.
Yeah. Conflict upon notice. Because you're not gonna sit there and wait for them to call.
Yeah, totally.
You can't.
Yeah. You
But
can't.
that's what the other film I mentioned earlier, right? That I had to put myself out. That's the person's expectation, the actor to sit there and wait until they get a call to go to shoot.
What?
For 3 months.
What?
Yeah.
Ouch.
You know why I had to pull out, right?
I know.
Not
That's
fair.
horrible.
Not reasonable, not fair.
Yeah, totally.
You cannot do that.
You have to be flexible. And I mean, honestly, on the other hand, actors are being flexible with you. You have to also be flexible with the actors.
Actors have other things. They need to work on other projects.
If you have shoot dates that are locked for these specific roles, tell the actors, and then they adjust. If they can't,
not going to be an AD, right? So
yes.
what schedule?
Yes. So what schedule? Oh my God, that's horrible. I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm glad you're out of that.
So anyway, So with this conflict situation, if you know hard conflict, you should be upfront and honest. There will be other time to audition, right? We'd rather have someone who's upfront and honest than a difficult schedule to work up down the road.
Yes.
Because the last thing you want is being replaced by that actor.
Yep.
Right? That will hurt. Yep. Your feeling will get hurt.
Yep.
And only yourself, you can blame yourself because you have to go to another country.
I know. Or you're just not there.
Yeah. Again, it's like yeah, sometimes that one opportunity might be slipping away, but it's not the end of the world that you have to literally lie
Yeah.
and then
I
yourself stop this
always,
situation.
yeah, I believe you always, if you keep it open, if you're honest and open, we will be honest with you.
Yeah.
And, but at the same time, give us a reason, if you have issues. Don't
No,
always
also
hold back. Yeah.
remember casting. I consider myself very discreet, right? So artists might tell me things from me, but I may not need to tell the director that about it, if possible conflict. For me, I'll tell you honestly is that right now we don't have a shoot schedule at this point, right? So, but if you already have possible other conflict, whoever sent you the first offer, book the part, you should honor that first production, right? And then if you got the offer from the other production, you can tell them your conflict, and then figure it out,
Yeah.
right? But if you
Yeah.
got to go for higher pay, really good opportunities, then let me know. Give me 48 hours so I can find a replacement.
Or we can find a way to solve your problem.
No, we'll find a replacement casting for that because if
Yeah.
you decide to go for a bigger production or bigger pay, better opportunity, I'm not gonna stop you pursuing your career,
Yeah.
right? But you gotta help me
Yeah.
save this production by finding a plan B.
Yeah.
Usually we have plan B, but at least I need time to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Same
Yeah.
here. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
We're down to the last question.
Awesome.
I got paired up by another actor who kept telling me what to do at the audition. What can I do to tell him to stop without making the audition awkward?
We talked.
Yes, we talked about this. And no, I think, honestly, just tell him to mind his own business. And if the audition's awkward, move on.
Just say, hey, you do you, I do me. Okay, are we good?
Yeah.
Be nice about it. Be nice about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, sometimes every actor always an acting coach or something, right? So some people have when they rehearse, they expect the scene part to do a certain way, but now when there's a differences in a peer audition, and if you guys don't have time ahead of time to discuss, to run through and it just happened, go be flexible enough to react whatever they throw at you.
Yes.
Isn't it right?
Yes.
React is to actually to react.
Yes.
So you should not be chained down to how you want your way to go through,
Yes.
because if you know the character, the situation well enough, things change. Things can change.
Totally.
Yeah, and then go with whatever that was thrown to you, and then you might be discovering something new about the scene. So that's actually a good thing, right? But don't tell other people to do what you want them to do because number one, you're not their mom, you're not their dad, you're not the director,
Yeah.
you're not their acting coach. So mind your own business. Like let them do their thing, and when it comes to singing itself, be flexible. And when you're living in a situation, you will naturally react.
Yes.
When it comes to your way,
Yes.
that's acting is living.
Yes.
So that's not so bad at all.
No.
Yeah.
I think if someone ever tell me this, usually I say, well, let's try it. And then so, like if they give me an adjustment, I'm like, oh, let's try it. But at the same time, it's like I'm going to throw more stuff at you instead of, because I'm already expecting what's coming at me because he told me what to do. But I'm like, I'm going to do more. I'm going to even up that.
Well, I mean, it's up to you guys, right? If people are good with improv, go for it. Have fun with it. But the idea is fun, but don't make the situation miserable for both of you.
Exactly.
Again, just have fun. Be fun about it. Don't sabotage because when you sabotage the other person, you might sabotage yourself.
True.
So
Yeah.
And I honestly have not seen a whole lot of scenario like that. I
haven't seen a lot of scenario. I experienced a few. I think it's also because when it comes to my auditions, it's usually Chinese casting or Asian casting.
Mm.
And I always get paired up with a lot of moms and dads who has never done any acting training, so who love to give directions to others.
Yeah, I was gonna say the people who like to give directions, people who are not experienced.
Yes.
You're not gonna see that in New York. We're pretty
Yeah, no.
hardcore.
Welcome
We
to
have an
LA. You
idea.
should come here to audition
No,
sometimes.
no. Uh, no, I think, yeah. I think in New York, a lot of people take pride of what they have. Then, and a lot of the actors also know, based on the training here, they really focus on their own shit. Right, at the end of the
Yeah,
day,
good.
yeah. And if they get paired up with another actor, do one run through, they pretty much have an idea how to adjust their own work to match the rhythm.
See? Good for
Yeah,
you.
that's the experience. Also, improv training helps too, right? With that.
Yes.
But when
Yes.
you have inexperienced people, and it's your mom and dad, and say, "Well, hi, thank you so much, but you know, don't tell me what to do because I have an idea how to portray the son or the
Yeah.
uncle.
Yeah.
But so let's see how it goes. You can go run through a couple times. You just focus on your character. How about that? Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard for them to understand it all.
The
But
thing, if
yeah,
they don't
whatever.
understand that, that means they're not going to get a part. If they got a part, it's pretty much for their look.
Yes. And
Right? Can you
the
imagine?
saddest part is most of those mom and dads, they usually get the parts
Yeah,
because they
because
have the
no
look.
options. There's no other
Yeah,
options.
yeah, there's
But
no
hey,
other options.
can you
And then
imagine?
so they think they are on top of it because they think they know what they're doing. And that's the craziest part.
But if I'm the casting person in that session, if I notice that, I'll tell the director, no, look, this is what to expect on the day of the shoot.
I
So they
usually
might have
say
never
that too.
done the show themselves. So as a director, how can you control that?
Yeah,
I'm not there to help because it's not my job.
yeah,
As a director, what are you gonna? How can you convince this mom and dad to do what they want you to do?
yeah. I hear you.
Right? If you still want to book, then don't tell me you don't. I don't want you.
Yeah, we can only warn you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. Well, it is 2 hours and halfway in, and we have answered all the questions. And thank you, Wayne, for sharing so much stories of all these questions and all these
Thank you for
casting
sharing your
sessions.
stories.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
no, of course, not, and then I learned so much because we are two different kind of casting directors, and casting for East Coast and West Coast are completely different things
Well,
that we share with each other. Like my stories can always be kind of bizarre in the sense where not everyone's experienced. So you will hear a lot of that from me.
yeah, more next time.
Yeah, I know, right? More next time. And we are also here to open some if you do have some ideas of what you want us to talk about, like because we were talking about this way, that we should do like a headshot review, right? If you have any headshot that you'd like us to review about it, we did give you some kind of notes about if you should dress for the part, dress for the looks to the audition. So watch our playback if you didn't see this live. But we are also open to review headshots. I know last time we did review reels and there were copyright issues, but we edited out. There were also what else did we do? How to prep as an actor. So if you have anything that you want us to talk about as casting directors in this industry, go ahead and definitely leave in the comments, or even like us, and also go on Instagram, follow us. We are always active and always posting. So yeah.
Again, at the end of the day, the whole purpose of this conversation is to help you out there.
Yes.
If you're in the acting professions, again, we are here, hopefully to share some experience and insights that will help you be more confident and comfortable pursuing your acting career, and hopefully
Yeah.
book those parts, right? And get more
Yeah.
representation in this industry.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
We can't have
So
that one person doing all the roles, like the snake guy and you know, you know, we
exactly.
need to have more tokens for no more token nations out there, not just those
Definitely.
ones. Yeah,
Yes, we definitely need more of you out there.
yeah.
And we want to prep you for all these Hollywood films in the future. So
Just think,
anyway,
just remember to thank us. You won the Oscar.
yes, yes.
Many
Make
years
sure you
ago, it's not
mention my name,
like
please. Okay, on that note, thank you so much, Wayne. And take care, all. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.